Right, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakapadash, Rakatham. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone that were well, and a salute and a shalom to all the Akim that are out to labor, pushing this truth in all sincerity and in truth. The title of this lesson would be what is the title of it? Hold on, let me see real quick. No, that's not the one I'm looking for. Yeah. 7 Akim and their mother's hour of temptation, right? Taken from the book of 2 Maccabees. Maccabees 7. Second Maccabees 7 and 1. Now, let's get this hour of temptation, right? So, hour of temptation, right? So, the 7 Akim and their mother were compelled by Antiochus to taste swine's flesh, right? And they gave their life for it, right? They refused to taste swine's flesh. Right, and they were maimed. They were maimed. They were descalped. Right, so they were tortured because they didn't bow the knee. So this is 2 Maccabees 7. It says, and it came to pass also after that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh, and were tormented with scourges and whips. But one of them that spake first and said thus, what wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers, right? Because remember in the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 10. No, chapter 12, verse 11, it says, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. Right? They overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, by the blood of Yahawashi, and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. Alright, man? So, the 7 brothers and their mother, they weren't afraid to die, man. They weren't afraid to give their life for Yahawashi. It says then the king, being in a rage, commanded commanded pans and cauldrons to be made hot, which forthwith being heated, he commanded to cut out the tongue of him that spake first, to cut off the utmost parts of his body, the rest of his brethren and mother looking on. Right? So his brothers and his mother, they all watching him, get his tongue cut out and get the utmost parts of his body they cut off, man. Like his hands, his feet. See? It says, like, man, so they are saying all this happened, right? And they still have excellent faith, man. They still have strong faith, man. Right, man, because they know that they will basically because they know that they will come back anyway, because they know that they're going to be raised back up anyway. Jake, we're going to be raised back up anyway, man. Jake, man, fuck this world, man. Fuck these people, man. We're going to be raised back up anyway. Because you say, what? Fear not him which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul. Right, man? But fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell, man. So Jake, we're only supposed to fear Yahawashi, man. That's it. It says, now when he was thus maimed in all his members, he commanded him, yet being alive, to be brought to the fire and to be fried in the pan, right? So they cooked him, man. They fried him. As the vapor of the pan was for a good space dispersed, they exhorted one another with the mother to die manfully, saying, Yahawah power looketh upon us, and in truth hath comfort in us, as Moses in his song, which witnessed to their faces, declared, saying, he shall have comfort in his servants. Why? Because the servants of Yahawashi, the elect, are faithful and loyal, even unto death. Say, so when the first spake, this concept, so when the first was dead after this number, they brought the second to make him a mocking stock. When they had pulled off the skin of his head with the hair, so they scalped him. They asked him, wilt thou eat before thou be punished throughout every member of thy body? But he answered in his own language. He said, no. He said, what, man? La'ah. Wherefore he also received the next torment in order as the former did. See, it says, when he was at the last gasp, he said, thou like a fury takest us out of this present life, but the King of the world shall raise us up, who have died for his laws unto everlasting life. Alright, man. So the second brother was like, man, look here, man. We're going to be raised back up anyway. We're going to be raised back up anyway. So he knew. So he told Antiochus, and we said, listen, man, you're only taking us out of this life. You're only taking us out of this present life, man. But the King of the world, man, the power of Israel, man, the power of the universe, Yahawashi is going to raise me up unto everlasting life, because I was faithful even unto death. It says, after him, the third made the mocking stock. When he was required, he put out his tongue, and that right soon, holding forth his hands manfully, and said courageously, these I have had from heaven, and for his laws I despise them, and from him I hope to receive them again. So the third brother was like, man, listen, man, I'm not worried about nothing, man. If you're gonna kill me, do it, because I'm gonna be raised back up anyway, because my hands that you have cut off, I'm gonna receive them again. So he knew he was gonna be raised back up anyway, man. It says, and so much that the king and they that were with him marveled at the young man's courage, for he had nothing regarded the pains. I mean, so for he had nothing he nothing regarded the pains, man. So, man, so even though they were being tormented, man, they still held on to their faith, man. They were ready and willing to die, man, than to transgress the laws of Yahawashi, man. They stay faithful unto death, man. Jake, we must, man. We must stay faithful unto death, man. Jake, we don't have a choice, man. This is the condition of the battle. Jake, is going to be hard. It's going to be difficult, man. It's going to be hard, man. It's going to be difficult, man. And it's going to get harder. But guess what, though, man? It say in Romans, like it say in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 18. It says, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. It also say in the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 17 to 18, it say, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal. Jake, man, Babylon the Great, man, it's temporal, man. It is temporary, man. Jake, man, us being on the bottom, man, that's temporary. It's only for a moment, man. But the things which are not seen are eternal, man. Jake, the kingdom is eternal, man. Jake, man, the kingdom of Yahawashi, the kingdom of Solomon, man, is eternal, man. Jake, we are about to inherit everlasting life, man. Jake, we are about to inherit everlasting life, man. Jake, and what's Jake, man, tell me, what is Jake, man, what is better than everlasting life? Jake, what is better than everlasting life? Man, nothing is better than eternal, man. Jake, man, nothing is better. Jake, man, nothing is better than immortality, man. Nothing is better than eternal life. See? Now when this man was dead, also they tormented and mangled the fourth in like manner. So when he was ready to die, he said thus, it is good being put to death by men to look for hope from Yahawashi, to be raised up again by him. As for thee, thou shalt have no resurrection to life. Right, man. So the fourth, right, man. So the fourth brother was like, listen, man, what you doing, man? I ain't worried about it, right, man, because I'm gonna be raised back up again. But you Antiochus won't have no resurrection to life, man. Jake, man, this is the kind of faith that we must have, man. This is the kind of faith that we must have. All right. So with that, I say Shalom. Hold on. Well, let me get this. Revelation 3:10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. See? It says, because you have obeyed my command to persevere, I will protect you from the great time of testing that will come upon all the world to test those who belong to this world. All right, man. So, all right. So, Jake, man, Yahawashi, the Mashiach, will protect us from the hour of temptation, man. Will give us the spirit to stand firm. And if we have to die, we gotta die. Oh well. Because Jake, man, we're gonna be raised back up anyway. Jake, man, don't be afraid to die, man. Jake, do not be afraid to give your life for Yahawah Bahasham Shah, man. Because Jake, when you understand death, man, the only thing that dies is this flesh. The only thing that dies is this flesh, Jake. Our spirit goes back up to Yahawah Bahasham Shah. Say Revelation 2:10. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. All right, man. So the 7 brothers, man, they gonna receive a crown of life, man. They will receive a crown of life, and the rest of the elect will receive a crown of life. All right, so with that, I say Shalom.